WonderCon is where DC has announced some big comic book events in the past, so let's take a look at what's on the slate for 2019. What's up, everybody? I'm Stan, and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. Today, we're going to be talking about DC Comics and their recent announcements at WonderCon 2019 in Anaheim. One of the most popular places to find the latest information is during the Meet the Publishers panel hosted by Jim Lee and Dan DiDio. In years past, it's where we found out about some of DC Rebirth's biggest books, as well as Doomsday Clock and Dark Knight's Metal, before they ever hit the printed page. The biggest focus for Lee and DiDio was on their Year of the Villain initiative, which will make its way into a large number of titles this summer and over the course of the next year, but its major impact will be felt in Justice League, Batman with the upcoming City of Bane storyline, and books by Brian Michael Bendis like Superman, Action Comics, and Event Leviathan. While Justice League has been pretty clear on what Year of the Villain will mean to the series, with Perpetua being a mainstay, there is a lot more to it than that. Lex Luthor will become the lead big bad, playing opposite Martian Manhunter in this battle of doom versus justice. With the variant covers we've seen for the Year of the Villain one-shot, though, everyone is going to play a part. When we take a look at the rise of Leviathan, a clandestine organization making big moves inside Action Comics, it's taking on a different kind of feel. While the Leviathan Rising one-shot will focus on Superman and the people around him, like Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen, the actual Event Leviathan storyline appears to be based on Batman. It will be interesting to see what Bendis does, since he can write street-level crime stories well, but the most exciting aspect of Leviathan are the offshoot comics. Greg Rucka will be helming a solo Lois Lane title, which has me very excited for how he's going to write that character. Plus, Matt Fraction will be teaming up with Steve Lieber for the Jimmy Olsen title. DiDio and Lee actually commented on how the direction for the series was actually inspired by Matt Fraction's run on Hawkeye, which should grab everyone's attention. The other big thing is going to be the City of Bane storyline, which has been gaining a lot of traction after the WonderCon panel, as Tom King and Tony Daniel have been posting cover art and talking about how everything has been building up to this story. If that's the case, then Bane has been the master manipulator behind the entire Batman run so far. We're going to have to go back and take a deeper look at where we can find his influence early on in the series. One thing is for sure, if the last quarter of King's run on Batman is based entirely around Bane, as it was in the first quarter, which is considered one of the best parts of the series, it is going to be some great bookends for Batman. Outside the Meet the Publishers panel, we also got some other news which came from Scott Snyder. While DiDio and Lee were showing off art for Batman The Last Night on Earth, which comes out in May with Greg Capullo, Scott was deep into 2021 with his chat. Year of the Villain is going to be taking the Justice League team through the rest of 2019 before leading into an event he calls Doom Wars, which could take a lot of 2020. He was also discussing a sequel to Dark Knight's Metal, which was a wildly successful event for DC and one that cracked the DC universe open like an egg. While this is just speculation or even a public pitch to gauge interest from fans, Snyder has plenty of plans which could stretch out into 2021. We also know that Sandman Universe, which is being curated by Neil Gaiman, will continue, and Gerard Way is hard at work on some new material for Doom Patrol, which will be returning as a Vertigo title instead of on the Young Animal imprint that he used to run. While Marvel has laid out three major game changers in the form of War of the Realms, which begins on April 3rd, Jonathan Hickman's two new X-Men books for July, and Absolute Carnage from Cates and Stegman in August, DC appears to be focusing on shining as much light as they can on the events that are coming out soon. Is Year of the Villains going to be a big driver for DC Comics in 2019? Can Batman beat Bane without Gotham behind him? Why is no one talking about Jeff Johns and what he's doing in Doomsday Clock, the Three Jokers, or if Rebirth is even still a thing? I want to know what you guys think, so hit me up in the comments down below and we can start that conversation. As always, if you like what you see, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to get more news, reviews, and commentary on comic books and more.